What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Upper 90 YouTube soccer channel. My name's Mike, where I like talking about soccer, aka football. Today's topic is going to be on Chelsea versus Porto and recapping the match that we had yesterday in the Champions League. So stick around. Now, for those that didn't know, Chelsea was playing against Porto. Now, Chelsea was the away team, even though this match was played in Sevilla. Now, due to what's been going on, they had to have a neutral ground, so Sevilla was the stadium itself, where Porto was the home team for the first leg. Chelsea will be home for the second leg. This makes a huge difference for the away goals because, as we know, when it comes to Champions League, away goals are a huge deciding factor for which team will go through, because a lot of times teams can sit back a little bit more or teams can push forward and score a few goals, which again can make a huge difference. So the fact that Chelsea was able to win this match today 2-0 with 2 away goals is a huge thing for Chelsea, because now they have really the opponent against the wall, or not sure what they're going to be doing, because Chelsea can sit back a little bit, which they've been able to do fairly well with Tuchel. But not only that, is that they can actually dictate the match again when they play next week. Now, overall, I thought the match was fairly evenly balanced. I mean, percentage-wise for possession was 60-40 going towards Chelsea. Shot-wise, it was pretty close as well. We had 11 shots for Porto, 6 for Chelsea, but 4 on target and 3 on target for Chelsea. So overall, shots were pretty similar as well. Now, Porto did have a few opportunities. I mean, as I was watching this game, I thought for sure Porto was going to find the back of the net at least once. There were a few times where I thought Chelsea did look like they were against West Brom, that they didn't know what was going on. They looked a little confused, but luckily they did not concede a goal. Now, if you watched my video before the match, I talked about the players who I thought were going to start, and overall, I think Tuchel did the right move by starting a few players and benching a few players. Now, we know, again, Thiago Silva was able to play in this match because he came on as a sub, but did not start, and I think that was a very smart move for Tuchel. He stuck with Rudiger, Christensen, and Azpilicueta, which, again, I've talked about before, but I think this should be the starting 3 for the back line as of right now. Now, I don't have anything against Thiago Silva. He is a great player, but I think looking forward for Chelsea-wise, those 3 guys need to be in the back. Obviously, Azpilicueta is getting up there in age, so we may need to rotate him out sooner than later or find a backup for him for next season. But for right now, I think those 3 guys are the best 3 players that we can play. Now, we can probably rotate in Thiago Silva at some point, or even Kurt Zuma, but again, I don't think there's our strong players anymore. I think those 3 are the best 3 options that we have. Then for our wing backs, I had mentioned that I thought maybe Alonso was going to play, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Chilwell started, which he did, and thank goodness he did, because he ended up scoring at least 1 goal, and I think he overall had a great match against Porto. The fact that I thought Alonso may start is because, again, he can drive forward and lead to a lot of goals. But overall, Chilwell, I think, is a little bit better defensively, which I think is what Tuchel was going for. And again, we did look fairly good defensively. And then obviously on the right side, we had Reece James, which he's just a solid unit. I think he's going to start every match for the rest of the season unless something happens or he needs a little bit of a rest. But overall, he's a guy I definitely trust on the right side for our wing back, especially him and Azpilicueta have been working really well with each other. Now, in the midfield, I was a little surprised. I wasn't too sure if Jorginho and Kovacic, who was actually going to start. But overall, I think our midfield looked well with what we went on with. And then even the top 3, I thought for sure Tuchel, I didn't know if Kai Havertz was going to start, and he did start. I thought for sure Giroud was going to get the starting role. This game, he did not. Timo Werner and Mason Mount were on the wings, which again, I thought was going to be the case. So overall, happy with what Tuchel did, and I think we got the results we deserved. Now, going into the match, I believe Mason Mount was the man of the match. I think overall, he's been just shining throughout this entire season. Now, even during Lampard's reign, I think he was the best player on the pitch at most games. Obviously, there's some times where he's going to have a bad game, but overall, even under Tuchel, I think he's been playing very well. And he actually scored his first UEFA Champions League goal with a phenomenal goal itself, doing a little spin around the defender and finding the back post. Overall, I thought the team looked great. There was a few things, like, again, I wanted to talk about. Defensively, I think we could have been a little bit better because we did have a few errors. There was maybe a little controversial that there could have been a penalty, but again, I think there was a little bit of a flop in that action when Azpilicueta was pushing him in the back. Again, if you ask anyone, they may say something different, but overall, I thought the right call was made. Now, with the rest of the team, I'm still not sure with Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. They looked okay at best this past game. I'm not sure what's going on with the two Germans. They seem like they really are still struggling, but I think that they can keep moving and working towards becoming better. This first season might not be their best season, but I think if they stick with it and keep with the system that Tuchel is providing, I think both players will do phenomenal at this club. Obviously, we still have some players we need to rotate in there as well. Ziyech being one of them, Hudson-Odoi being another guy, and then Pulisic obviously needs to get in there as well, and then Conte fitting him into the midfield. So we do have a lot of options. Overall, I think Tuchel even got the players that we need to get in. He got Conte back in, who's coming back from injury. Pulisic got some minutes in as well. So overall, I think we should be pretty excited about this match. Second leg, though, I am a little bit worried because Porto obviously is going to be the away team, so they can easily sneak back a goal or two, and then we're right back at level. But I think Chelsea will advance in the next group or next round. Again, I'm not sure who they're going to be playing because the rest of the teams in the Champions League are just on fire. We saw PSG beat Bayern Munich. So again, whoever we play after this, as long as we beat Porto, I think it's still going to be a tough match. But I think we can even push to the final. So we'll see how it goes. So that's all I have for today on the recap for the Chelsea vs Porto match. If you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate it. It goes a long way. Again, I love making these videos for you guys, my recap on watching Chelsea, talking about the Premier League, talking about soccer in general, just because I enjoy watching the sport. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.